Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Sanity Lost, the only chapter that might end with the original pitch I gave you guys. We'll see. And you know what? I'm going to go with a topic of something that we mentioned earlier. I don't think the player I'll bring up actually listens to this show. Who knows? We'll find out. But it doesn't have to be a tabletop role-playing game, but it's just like, whether it could be like this or like TTRPG or like a video game or a TV show. Have you guys like ever cried at like a character? I feel like this is very charged, knowing how Elizabeth watched certain styles of movies. So, but you guys ever get hit in the feels, as I think some people used to say, when certain characters tap out of life?
Is that a question? I think everyone else should answer that question because I think everyone knows or should know.
Okay, well, what is you can, yeah, well, like it was like a yes and example. You got a fun example?
There's so many of them. Okay, you guys go first. I'll come up with a good one. I have to like filter through the number of times I have cried at someone dying.
So for me, it's not necessarily
Homeward Bound when Shadow comes over the hill.
Every time, sobbing. Every time.
No, he only comes over the hill once.
I know, but every time I watch it, I cry again. Yeah.
Sorry, Nite. I cut you off for a joke.
All good. So for me, it's not necessarily characters dying, but there's definitely a lot of spots where the feels get hit really hard. Good Dinosaur was one of those big ones. When the kid gets returned to the humans.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's so good. Up, the first 10 minutes of Up is one that will pull the feels right out of you.
Totally.
I do want to say one thing. No one's allowed to mention content that hasn't come out yet.
You have an NDA night. You are under an NDA. Remember.
All you guys are. You guys can't mention anything that could possibly happen in this episode.
I didn't sign anything on it.
I'll mute you in editing.
He's gonna just take you out.
And
You're
then
no
in this show that's on the edge of coming out.
Let us know what other children's shows make you cry. Let's see, what Wally when Eve gives herself electroshock therapy and
Yeah.
Bug or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh man, John, you could probably tell this. I'm struggling. I cry all the time, and I feel like sob. We were in a movie theater, and I was sobbing. Where were we? What were we seeing?
It.
No,
Was it it?
I mean,
no, she doesn't cry at scary movies.
For it.
She yells.
So the one that's coming to mind while he's thinking is Scrubs. So I rewatch Scrubs probably once a year. It's actually been a while. I need to go back and rewatch it again. And if anyone is familiar with Scrubs, there's two characters who die. One early, one later. And one is Dr. Cox's brother-in-law. Sorry, spoilers if no one has watched Scrubs. That is sad for you. I feel sad for you. It is a great show. You should watch it. But Dr. Cox's brother-in-law dies, and the way that they let you know that he has died is masterful TV, and it kind of like hits you out of nowhere. You don't realize that he's dead. And so I sobbed at that one. And then later in the show, Nurse Lorraine dies. And the funny thing is they literally bring back the actress and she plays another nurse. She's like a totally different character, but it's the same actress. And she's essentially playing her old character with a different name. So it's a joke in the community that it's just Lorraine number 2. But when Lorraine dies, it is heart-wrenching every time. So Scrubs will make me sob. And the very last episode of Scrubs, I will sob through that as well. Those are the ones, Scrubs is coming to mind because I will cry every time and I watch it all the time. But there have been some other ones that, yeah.
This reminds me of the time when I got invited over like a friend's house, and they were having like this huge group get together. This is when I lived in New York, and they were like, "Hey, we're watching The Office. Would you like to watch?" And I'm like, I never watched it, but I am enjoying human interaction that isn't that is my age range. So sure, I'll stick around. It was the last episode. The only episode of The Office I watched is the final one. And so everybody's in there is crying their eyes out and everything. There was like a person that was like their first time watching the whole series. And she's like, "Oh my god," like bawling her eyes out. And then it's like my buddy who invited me. So he's like, "So what do you think of it?" And I'm like, "There were people."
It really does kind of ruin the context when you're watching the very end for the first time.
And then I think now there's a person on stream that I go to their community who is a very big Office fan, and to get a reaction, I'll say, I don't know, I never watched The Office, but I did watch the last episode, so I know how it ends. So I don't need to watch anything else.
I'm sure they lose their minds.
I'm surprised I'm not banned. But anyway, John, how about you?
I actually tend to cry a bunch at like just general emotional things in media. I don't know that I have any super like specific examples. Probably the most recent one, which affects Elizabeth as well, but we had started watching zoo TV shows, which like gives you like behind the scenes looks at like how zoos are run or whatever. And they always inevitably have the like, this animal that these zookeepers super love is like really old and sick, and we're gonna operate on it. And like you know it's coming that this animal is not going to make it. And like they play like it gets so emotional, and the like keepers are sobbing, and it's like the both of us will just be like in tears. Like, why are we crying at this?
Because the chicken died.
Or like a snake died, but the zookeeper has this like super emotional response, and
and they always are the most random animals. Like every once in a while they'll like do a baby, right? Everyone cries when a baby animal dies, but a lot of times they're like really random, like a snake or a chicken or like a tarantula, and you're like, I don't understand how you
get them in the zoo. Harambe was right. Get rid of more of them.
Yeah, that's what I would have said for John, is anything animal related. Like he sent me like videos about dogs. Dogs get him a lot because we have our own. I think that was the last one I remember, is you sent me like an article or like a YouTube video or something about a dog dying that like really hit you.
Balto.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I cried. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I sobbed when Tony Stark died in Infinity War. No, it was in Spider-Man. I don't remember why, but I was sobbing in Spider-Man. Someone can...
He died in Spider-Man too?
No, they didn't die. But like there was some like... when all of them are having their like healing moments at the end, when they're all fighting and like facing their past, and like I was sobbing through that. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I think I was.
I mean, me neither, because I haven't watched it.
Wow, Dave, you made that sound like you were really on board with me. Like you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah. I was like, this is going to be a real good punchline in about 5 seconds. Look, I watched, on Saturday, I watched 2 movies, because one was for my other podcast, and one was I was getting rid of stars. And I wanted to watch it. So I watched Anna and the Apocalypse, which that was fun. It was like, oh man, I have a problem with that movie. It is an enjoyable movie. It's about average, but it's like at the end, it's like the character that's having this big like moment should have been a different character.
Oh, that's
with
annoying.
the way the movie was set up.
Yeah. That is annoying.
But hey, it's a zombie musical, so I don't know.
What?
That takes place around Christmas.
Oh man, I wish it was a Halloween movie. That's what we would be watching this year.
Honestly, like, Christmas is just the setting. Like, it's
kind of like the Nightmare Before Christmas, where it can
or Die Hard
either way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly like the fact, like, it just shows on a calendar that like it's the 24th, and that there's like the Christmas play, but besides that, it's like everything else, it's like a zombie musical.
Okay.
And so it's a fun movie. It's
interesting.
It's a fun one, but it's still like a little. It felt like some things could have been shifted around a little bit. But anyway, but then after that, I watched shoot, I keep forgetting the name of it. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, it's a new movie that just came out. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Mm-hmm. The movie where Nick Cage plays Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun movie.
Yeah, I like started watching it. I got like maybe halfway through and then stopped because I figured that you would want to watch it, Elizabeth, and then we have never watched it. So.
Well, how long ago was that?
8 years.
A year, maybe a year.
Oh my gosh,
it's been a while.
You didn't tell me this.
I think we've had the same conversation on one of these podcasts previously.
Lies. Listeners, we're fighting tonight, just so you know. Welcome.
Somebody's going to comment and be like, oh yeah, I listened to that just a few episodes ago, and John's totally right.
You can at me if you find it. But I'm going to say we have not had this conversation.
So, and now
one of my superpowers is remembering obscure pieces of information like that. So I'm very confident that
And now the instigator side of me is like, oh, I remember you guys talking about that. And yeah, John was exactly right.
Nite, I'm going to need a timestamp. I'm going to need an episode number. And
it was episode and minute.
Speaking
no one
about
on audio is gonna know what just happened.
Speaking about the feels, do you guys want to know what the most played episode of our whole catalog of episodes are?
Of Sanity Lost, of all your stuff. Okay, yes, of course.
No, of just Sanity Lost. It is Sally, the prologue end.
Really? That one? How did people not listen to the rest of them?
It has five listens, so which, hey, it's better than nothing. We yeah. I'm like, there's one that has 0, and I'm like, oh yeah, because that comes out next week.
Oh.
No, I was trying to see if there was any comments on the stuff, and
oh no, that's a rabbit hole that I don't know we want to go down.
Oh, I always go down all the rabbit holes to find, because I'm like, let me know what you're thinking so that I can tell you that you're wrong.
That's the way to make friends.
It works so far. But any poops. I lost the tab. There it is. I had to be like careful because now we're sharing the audio, and it's like the Roll20 tab is right next to a few YouTube videos, which I think are paused. But it's like, I'm just gonna click it, and they're just gonna be like, "Yo, what's up?" And then it's like, go figure, it's gonna be like the one that is like,
it's your boy.
It's like, it's like the most filthiest thing that comes out.
It's gonna have all the profanities and yeah.
And I'm like, well, that requires me to remember to do work later. Anyway.
Where's our spoopy music?
There.
Oh, that's so good.
I don't know. I just want to play the Nomads of the Cosmos theme song because it's so fun, but it doesn't fit in this episode or show.
You can send us out on that.
No.
You'll have to listen to Nomads.
Yeah.
I'll play it in the middle of while we're waiting for things to render or whatever.
So none of you
Anyway.
get to know.
Yeah, well, they'll find out hopefully in a couple weeks.
That's right.
When the show comes out. But anyway, that's other talk. I think we stretched banter out for as long as we could, and probably more. And I didn't answer the question. But anyway,
We know you don't cry, Dave. You have no soul.
I remember, quick side note, when John and I would go, like when we would go to the movies a lot. This was when the Saw movies were coming out. And I got told by multiple people that they didn't want to sit next to me because I laughed through the whole thing because I couldn't take it seriously. And
I'm not surprised.
I felt a little bad because nobody wanted to sit next to me. And then it was like, I have no clue who this girl was. She just came to watch the movie with her friends, and they were like, you're going to have to sit next to him because none of us want to because he doesn't stop laughing. And after the movie ended, she's like, I thought you guys were joking. I have no clue who that person is, but I remember that interaction. And I'm like,
All right.
any poops. So last time, you guys had a little catch-up sesh with Charles, and he answered some questions that I don't remember what they were. But at the end, it was pretty much go to the church, save Father Bailey, and there might be a little bit of the splitting of the party, where Cora might have conflicted emotions about because Timmy's in the other party. But Timmy's like, "Sit down, Mom. I'm a real boy."
There's a lot for Cora to take in. A lot.
Yeah. So, you guys are pulling up to the church. You see the green glow coming from the windows, and like the flames kind of licking out of the window that Tim and the other two, Brother Billy and Brother Kevin, jumped out of. I remembered their names. I'm not stalling to get back to my notes because I'm on like 800 different things. That's Traveler. That doesn't exist. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. So you get up there, and as you pull up, pretty much you guys see that the entrance to the church doors, the flame walls are no longer there. But Charles kind of turns to you, like, you guys aren't like right on the church property yet. Like, you're still maybe a little ways away, and he's like, so do we want to like just go in the front door, or do we want to sneak around? Like, what do you guys like? You guys obviously saw before I got here, so what do you guys think?
Well, so the doorway doesn't have any fire in it anymore. What part? How much of this green? Where do we have any sense of where this green glow is coming from at this point?
Oh yeah, no, like you can see for free, like through the windows, that it's like the flames are just kind of like around the perimeter of, like, kind of on the walls, kind of lighting up the room, but not consuming the actual building.
So there's still kind of
so
a wall of flame around the church. It's just not over the front door.
Yeah, it's more like just down the the long door, like the not doors, the walls of the sanctuary.
Okay.
Yeah, so like it's pretty much along the walls, kind of just illuminating the place. But from where you are between the flames, like you can spot that like through the flickering of the fire, but you can't see like anybody inside.
Okay.
So I think I think Caleb's gonna go around towards the back, and I assume as long-term residents of the town, we would know kind of the overall building layout and other doors into the church and the sanctuary area to kind of be able to work our way around alternate directions. And I don't think the whole group should. I think we should split up a little bit so we're kind of coming at them from two directions.
What is our plan? What are we doing? This is Cora. Cora's saying this. I'm feeling like we are grossly underprepared here.
Well, we could, well, they don't know I'm here. And I don't know if your son would aggravate anything. But if you want, maybe, some of us can go in through the front door, and that seems like what, Caleb is suggesting, but yeah, we can just figure it out. Like, we can talk and maybe we can get some information out of him, but, or we can just go in guns blazing.
What's our objective here? Like, what outcome?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, we need to get Father Bailey out of there. We got to get Father Bailey away from this, whatever this creature is.
So then, are we thinking distraction? Do we, pre the distraction and try and sneak him out the back?
Maybe this will help you guys. Timmy and I, our organization, we're, if we have the chance, eliminating Trober.
Carly, do you think we really have a shot here? Or is this a suicide mission?
You guys took out the one already.
Yeah, we had to work really hard at that.
To be fair, we kicked him down a hole.
And then burned him alive.
Here we can kick him in. We're good at kicking.
Did you try shooting him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put a hole in him, and it didn't really seem to slow him down too much.
Gotta remember hold on, and then he like turns to Tim. He's like, "Why didn't you help out your mom and your friends?" And he's like, "I forgot." And he's like, he kind of reaches in and he pulls out like this paper like kind of thing. He's just like, "Okay, if you rip this, when you get close, the core will shine. You gotta be like right next to her."
Would this
Cora
be
looks over at Timmy. She's like, "Are you serious, kid? You had this the whole time?"
Look, let's not look at the past, but now let's see what we can do now.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So is this a paper that he's holding out, like some sort of a rune on it or something?
Yeah, it's got like you're not sure what language, but it's definitely like it's definitely like an Eastern script, whether it's like, well, I don't know, you can roll if you want to.
So what I'm curious about is if Caleb would recognize this rune as something that would be associated with whispers and the runes that he's been learning.
Yeah, do a roll.
Would that be a runes roll?
Probably. It could be a runes roll if you want to see if there's thing. or
Be a cult.
or archaeology, or history. Like, there's a couple different things. Like, give me an argument for what you would like to try, and I'll let you know if it's possible. Like the craft runes, I don't know. It just depends.
Yeah, I think the craft runes probably makes sense, even though it's more the kind of the using them side of things. It'd still be recognizing components of this rune if you can recognize them.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to help though, because that's a 92 over 35.
Oh man, you almost fumbled.
Okay, so Cora is going to. I'm assuming we're all still sitting in the car, right?
Yeah, you guys are still like, we'll say 40 feet away. Like, you're still kind of like in the shadows of like.
Okay. All right. So Cora takes a deep breath and she kind of like looks at everyone in the car and she's like, I don't know if I can do it. It's been one heck of a few hours. She turns to Caleb and she's like, with kind of like a knowing look, and she's like, can you help me? Keep watch. And she's going to try and scry on Matthias in the church.
It's like, if you say you're gonna scry on Percy, I'm gonna say no.
No. Right here, right now. No, she's gonna try and scry on Matthias.
Okay.
And so Caleb, seeing that what Cora's looking to do is, do we have time for this?
You're gonna have to give me 5 minutes max, and then bring me back.
All right, 5 minutes.
I'm assuming after 15 years, I have a little more skill in this in terms of being able to come in and out of it.
Well, we'll see how you roll.
I don't know. Okay, so it's... Oh, actually, I'm going to push this. I got a 39 over 29, so I'm going to use my luck to just make that pass.
Okay. Pushing is a completely different thing.
I'm going to use my luck. I'm going to use my luck to make that success.
Yeah. So you scry, and yeah, like over the years and everything, like you've definitely gotten a little bit better. Where I think before you were like just teleported like without your will.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of what it was. But like now that you know like how close and everything is, it's like almost an apparition of yourself as you can look down and see like everyone in the car like floating above.
Ooh, this is fun.
And you're just like, and with a flick of the thought, like just a thought, like you just flick inside the church and you see pretty much Matthias, I almost said one of the deities of of Pathfinder. Sister Cinder. No. Sister
I can never remember her
face
name
is.
either.
Yeah, Lewis. Lewis is just, she's kind of just sitting there, like kind of on the floor, kind of just like non-responsive.
She awake? Like conscious?
You can't tell. Like her eyes are closed. It looks, but she's like in like maybe what could be translated as a meditative state.
Okay.
And she's like kind of like in the middle of the floor, like kind of that place between like the pews and like the steps that like to the little rise up for the stage. Brother Billy is kind of like on the stage behind Trillburn, kind of just slowly like flexing and stretching his wings, his jade wings in and out, like they getting like all the like muscle tension out after being strapped down for who knows how long. As Matthias Trillburn is sitting in front of Father Bailey. He's just like, now Bailey, I know you know the secrets. Now just stop being a coddering old fool and just let an old southern preacher know what I need to know, and we can leave. We can leave, my friend. And Bailey, like, you hear, he's just like, you are no follower of the Lord. And like he's like coughing a little bit, and he looks a little roughed up. Like he's not like broken. Like it doesn't look like things are broken, but it's like maybe in the chaos of just everyone running out and him falling over. It's just, he looks like he's got like a little cut on his head. Like he's not like blood's coming out. He's like, you're no child of the Lord. And believe me, he will come down with his angels to take vengeance for his children. And like Matthias, like, just oh. You believe that, don't you? Well, let me show you what real power looks like, my friend. And his like eyes begin to like pulse with like this green energy, like as they begin to glow, and like to the part where like you can, your astral kind of form can like feel the energy like disrupting your form, and you just hear, I just want to know one question. Who is Theodore? And like that there's like a shockwave of like energy, and you are launched back into your body, and it's like, it is like a forced re-entry to the point where it's like you like kind of shoot up, and it's like only been like a minute.
Okay. Yeah. So I think what everyone was seeing in the car is just Cora sitting there with her eyes closed, maybe like hunched over a little bit, and then like everyone also like experiences this violent, like it looks like Cora's body has been like hit by a car, and she like, you know, jolts back and like gasps really violently. And like, so she's like comes to, and she looks at Charlie and she's like, I thought you said he couldn't use his powers.
He shouldn't be able to. I don't know. It could be either he wasn't hit as hard, or he is concentrating, like, I don't know. However, I don't know. He already had a threat to him, thanks to your son. So, who knows? I
don't think we can bank on the idea that he's out of this fight. And Cora kind of gives an overview of what she saw. It looks like Sister Lewis is maybe keeping some protection around the church. Billy is there. We probably need to get him away. And Matthias, I don't know, guys. I think he's a force to be reckoned with. His power shot me back. And he's looking for, he wants to know about, she looks at Caleb, he wants to know about Theodore.
Wow. I would love to know more about Theodore too, but I mean, I think we just gonna have to do it. Maybe
I'm gonna go in the front.
Maybe if he gets shot at, well, maybe if he gets shot, it will help distract him enough to reduce how much he can use his power as well. Tim, how many of those rune paper things do you got?
And like he looks at me, he's like, I got 2.
Well, that would be 1 for each of the remaining golems that we know of. How close do we gotta
you
be?
You already have the one that Charles gave you.
Oh, so there's 3 total.
Oh, so he's got 2 left. Or 2 more. So we basically have 3 of them?
Tim has 2 that you know of.
How close do we gotta be for these to work?
You gotta be, like, probably within, like, a couple feet. Like, you gotta get in close. From what I can tell, that's why I was saying maybe you guys can go after the fire user because, well, big boy, just say the angel doesn't seem probably a little bit more, an up-close fighter if he needs to. And Tim's like, yeah, no, he is a little bit of a close fighter, but, so, how about this? And, like, Tim, give, Caleb's holding on, he's like, give your mom your extra, so that way they have a couple chances. And then he's like, Charles turns to Skip and he's like, here's one for you too. Might as well just everyone have a chance, okay?
So I think the way we need to do this is, I'll go around the back, and if anybody that's going in the front, try to create a distraction. Whoever can get close enough to Bailey first, just get him out of there, and then we'll deal with the others once we get Bailey away and safe.
Let me be the distraction. I'll go in the front. I'll try to talk. Keep him as distracted as possible and focused on me. We need to get Billy out, maybe? I don't think we can take them both in the same room.
Yeah, we definitely need to get him safe.
If I had to guess, I think Billy... I don't know. I don't want to say anything that could be theory. So, I think that's what we just have to do. Let's just go in and you guys focus on the fire one. We'll focus on the winged one. And hopefully the chaos will keep keep Shelburne distracted enough. But
so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna try and talk to Matthias and keep him focused on me. Skip.
Oh, go ahead.
Skip and Caleb. Well, Skip, where do you want to be?
I'm a little out of my league with all of this. I can go wherever I think is most useful.
Maybe, Skip, didn't you say you didn't feel Matthias's power in the church before? You weren't frozen.
No. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, when everybody froze, I was still able to look around.
And Cora turns to Caleb and the rest of the group. What if Skip tries to get Bailey out?
That works for me. Just if anybody gets close, just if you get the opportunity, just take any opportunity you get, and may sound kind of simple, but simplest plans are the ones that last. And if we get the opportunity, take it, and everybody else deal with what's left over. I'm going to try to get.
Plan.
It's not much of a plan, but what else we got? I'm going to try to get close to the fire lady as I'm sneaking around through the back, and maybe I can get this room placed to close enough and figure out what her weakness is.
So, question for Dave: what is like the layout of the church? Because I would assume we would all be pretty familiar with it.
Yeah. So, and Corey would be able to see this as well. Like, normally there's, like, a good amount of pews in the sanctuary part, but they all have been kind of, like, pushed to the side, like, either by a force or whatever. Like, whatever happened in here. Like, there's still, like, a couple pews that are wooden pews that are still up and everything, but it's, like, a lot of them have been, like, almost looked like a blast from like the center stage has like kind of pushed and knocked these over a little bit. And then so there's that's like maybe 20 to 25 feet. We'll say 25 feet by 10 foot. Not 10 foot or 25 feet. Wait, I'm getting all my measurements mixed up. I was like, wait a second, feet are... Oh, that's a really small building.
Yeah.
Well, if it's only... Is it just the one
It's a Minecraft
room?
building. It is pretty much one long room.
Okay, so just like a sanctuary.
But like, yeah, like pretty much, like the last like fifth of the room is a small step-up stage.
Yeah. Okay.
But then there's like there is a door on the back wall that kind of leads to the rooms in the back that you guys would know would be kind of for storage and then just among other.
Is there a back way? Can you get into those back rooms from outside?
Yeah,
Okay.
like it's pretty much like a storage room where they would hold like elements and like kind of play stuff like for children productions, but
Yeah.
and events, but yeah, the door that Caleb wants to go to is there.
Probably at least like one or two waiting room areas is kind of what I picture as well. Kind of a typical small church building is going to have all sorts of little rooms in the back.
Equivalent of a green room.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'll go in the front. Skip, you go with Caleb around back. And
Okay.
Charlie, maybe you and Tim try to make an outside distraction to pull Billy out through the window. He's already been out that one way.
Mom, it wasn't, well, it was on purpose. Anyway, let's no, but
Yeah.
we'll be waiting. Like if things get bad, we'll come in and we'll be helping.
All right, well, I'm taking a fire extinguisher. I think we have 3. So Cora hands one to Skip and one to Caleb as well.
Was it 3?
Alright.
I thought there was more than that, but
Hold on.
I don't remember for sure.
8. Oh, you're right. We got 8.
I was gonna say eight was what I was thinking, but I wasn't positive on that.
So if you want 2, take 2 with you. I walk in carrying 2 extinguishers.
Yeah, I mean, I think both Skip and I would want to have one, and probably one for Timmy and one for Charlie.
Charlie too. Yeah.
Their option.
All right.
Everybody should have at least one for options.
All right. So Cora's gonna. Oh gosh, Cora's gonna die. Cora's gonna walk up to the church steps, and not stealthily. She's not gonna. If they hear her, they hear her. So she's gonna slowly walk up the church steps, up to the door that it sounds like is just open. The door is open.
Yeah, it's like kind of it's a little bit cracked, but yeah, you can push the door open.
Okay, well, if it's not totally open, she's gonna knock really loudly. She's gonna bang on the door. So she knocks really loudly, really twice, and then goes, "Matthias, I think we need to talk. I'm coming in, no weapons." She drops the extinguishers right there at the door and then like pushes through with her hands up.
Alright. And, like, as you knock, and, like, as the doors open, like, you, can see that, the Sister Lewis that's sitting there, like, one eye, like, her right eye just, like, slowly, like, opens to look at you. And it's, like, it's all, like, there's no, like, pupil or, like, any definite, it's just, like, dark. And then slowly closes it back and just keeps sitting there. And Matthias's, like, head snaps as he's just like, well, would you look, look, old Billy boy. The lost sheep has returned. And, he's like, oh, I don't remember your name. There we go, there was his voice. I don't remember your name there, child. And, like, he looks younger than you, but he's just like... and, he's like, what would you like to talk about, dear?
How about Theodore?
And his, like, cocks an eyebrow, and he's like, well, don't tempt me with a good time. Let's see. And, like, he starts to, like, as he straightens himself up and, like, kind of pulls his, like, suit jacket to, like, straighten it out, and, like, he kind of walks down, arms, like, as he steps down, kind of next to Lewis, and it's just like, what could someone of you be telling me of the creature known as Theodore?
I think that's a funny thing, Mr. Trilburn. This town is full of surprises. I think there's quite a number of us that would surprise you in what we do and do not know.
I see. We're gonna, and then as that's going on, Caleb and Skip, you guys can make it to the back room. You find a door, and as you go to reach for it, it's locked.
Let's see, how sturdy would this door be? And the lock on this door, is it like something that would take a lot to force the lock, or does it look like it's just the lock is more there to deter than provide any real security?
Do you have any skill points in locksmith?
I don't think so.
Yeah, which you think I would have, being a private detective now, but I overlooked that skill.
So, you remember that the church didn't always used to have this, but then, like, you remember as you get there and, like, notice that the door's locked, pretty much a couple years ago there was an incident where a bear came out of the woods and opened up the back of the church to get into the communion
exciting
items. And so I believe the Catholic belief is that bear had a little bit of Jesus. So but I wasn't comfortable making that joke. But anyway, the bear, there was like a bear that's in there, and it kind of got into that and like other like goods that they have for like families that are like on rough times, and from there they kind of put a heavier lock and a more secure door to keep the bears out.
This probably would have been good to think about beforehand, but I'm thinking that just since there's enough of a distraction in the front, making a little bit of noise in the back probably isn't going to be too big of a deal. So, let's see if it's secure against a bear. Maybe maybe Skip and I can use our combined strength to bust this lock open so we can get in.
Jeez Louise.
Is that going to make too much noise, though? We are trying to be stealthy.
I mean, probably, but we've got this. Unless there's another way around that we can get in.
Does this room have a window or anything?
No, like all the windows are kind of more up front. This is kind of all contained.
Would there be any other back door that we could potentially go through?
No, this is like the one, and like the church is older, so they're not really up to code of fire exits and stuff. So it's like they got the main entrance up front, and then this entrance here.
Skip walks up and knocks on the door, and then turns and looks at Caleb and just shrugs.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
I mean, somebody's in there.
Okay, so you knock. Cord, why don't you give me a listen check?
Okay. All right, what's my listen here? Where is this? There we go. Oh, that's not great. I'm not going to use those dice anymore.
You should.
That's a 91 over 44.
Just for like kicks and giggles, can you roll the ones that you said you weren't going to roll?
Yeah, I'm gonna be so mad if. No, I mean it's better, but it's still a fail. An 81 over 44.
Okay. Yep. Okay. And I'm gonna say like you can't push this roll because
yeah.
Like you're not even knowing what's happening. So, all that you know is that like the woman on the ground, her left eye slowly opens and then like kind of turns to look at the giant angel, Brother Billy, and then turns her head back around and closes her eye, and Billy just kind of makes a noise and begins to walk away a little bit.
Is he headed towards the back room? Like, do I know? Like, is he moving anywhere?
Yeah, he's kind of moving towards the back, but like he hasn't left the space yet. So, please, let me get back into his voice. So, you have information about our dear friend Theodore.
What's up with these two?
You don't have to worry about them. They're more chaperones than anything important.
Well, considering I'm standing in a building with
So am I.
green flame around it, and your friend here keeps looking at me weird, I do actually think I have something to worry about.
You were just saying that you were used to dealing with strange things. You can't deal with a woman looking at you?
The way that I get used to dealing with strange things is learning about them, which is my value to you right now. But that doesn't go away. This is a new learning experience for me. So tell me, you want something from me, I want something from you. Who are you? And what are these things?
And he looks at you and he's just, well, you already know who I am. I'm Matthias Chilburn. And these are, well, two of the Harmony 3, but I think if I had to guess, they'd be the Harmony Duo now. Am I wrong on that assessment?
You have to know a little bit of what you're playing with here, right? We're not totally on equal footing.
And then it's like, Bailey's like, Cora, you have to get out of here. Just run. Don't. And then it's like, oh, this is Cora. And like he just flashes a smile, and it's like Bailey, like his face goes white, and he's just like, oh, I remember hearing about you. Maybe you heard of a little friend of ours, Uncle Buster?
I mean, you are asking about Theodore, right? He seems to follow very closely behind creatures like you and Buster.
Creature, such a harsh word, my dear. But I want you to tell me. All right. I want you to tell me what you know. And like his eyes like begin to flash green.
Okay.
But you're looking at it and it's like a neon light that is like, and it's like the glow's gone. And he's just like, oh. Well, I guess we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way, I guess. And we'll flash back. It doesn't seem like anyone's coming to that door.
Well, let's just try bashing against it. Give it a good bash once and see if it'll cave to the two of us hitting it that way. Actually, hold on. Are the hinges on the inside or the outside of this door?
Let's roll luck. Actually, you roll luck. I'm not rolling luck. I'm not getting blamed for this.
That is a 29 under 60.
They're on the outside.
Yeah.
Take
that door off its hinges.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
time?
thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't take long if, assuming...
I was going to say, if they're the, like, pop-out ones, right? You can just, like, pop them out.
Tap them with something.
Yeah.
Shoot them.
Well, I was thinking about shooting the lock, but I didn't want to draw too much attention to it. That was going to be the option if the door didn't just cave to a hit. I'm going to check Caleb's pockets for a screwdriver that I can use to just pop the pins. This is something he's likely to have, but who knows if he actually has it with him on Christmas Eve at this particular time.
You know what I'm going to ask.
I know. Yep, and it's 75 over 60, so... unfortunately, Caleb does not have a screwdriver in his pocket.
You have a Phillips head, not a flat.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't matter.
Like
that wouldn't matter because you go in from the bottom of the pin.
Right. You have one that's too big. It doesn't fit.
It's just too big.
Or no, it's one of those like little tiny ones that won't like get it all the way.
Too small.
I mean, if it was particularly small, you just pop the pin up a little bit and then go from the other end to finish it.
Oh my gosh.
But...
We're being too technical. You can't talk Nite after.
I'm being hyper pedantic
here. He has no tools. He has no tools.
If you're gonna do this, if you want to be all that technical, a little bit of fun, the hinges are actually frozen. Okay, yeah.
Could be.
You have to breathe on them.
So.
I'd triple dog dare you to lick the hinge, the metal hinge.
All right, you guys, you better break down that door.
Okay, so checking his pocket, not finding a screwdriver that is suitable. Caleb's just gonna pull out the handgun that he picked up from Cora's shop.
Wait a sec. Hold up a second. You probably didn't have to roll luck. Weren't you stabbing the arm with a screwdriver?
No, he had a knife. I think he had a knife.
You have a knife.
I literally just thought about that too. I was like,
right.
I have a knife.
I do have a knife.
And you pop a pin with a knife?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a gun. You could like just use the handle
to hit it. Yeah.
I mean, I have a gun as well.
You have a gun as well, yeah.
Actually, technically, I have two.
Let's go.
One very special one. Okay, so Caleb's going to like take the knife out, like just kind of this momentary heartbreak thinking about how bad the blade is going to be damaged doing this, because it's being a special tool for him. But just sigh and just start popping the pins out using this the knife blade as a means of getting these pins out.
All right. Now I'll give you an option. You can roll stealth to see if you can do it quietly, but it's going to take a little longer, or you can roll strength where it'll be fast, but you have a chance of getting noticed.
So I think knowing the situation inside, it's not necessarily a bad thing for us to end up drawing attention to the back either, because either way we can create opportunities to get Father Bailey out. So I'm going to go the strength route and just see how quickly we can pop these pins out.
Yeah.
That is a 68 over 58, but I am going to use the 10 luck to make that an even pass.
You don't well, yeah, I guess you could.
Or,
okay.
Well,
I was going to say, like, it was going to come out either way. It was just going to be the state of the knife.
Use 10 luck to make sure your knife is fine.
The sigh is like knowing that this knife is probably going to be pretty badly damaged in the process, but at the same time willing to sacrifice the tool to the cause in the process. So yeah, I guess I won't use the luck in that case.
Yeah, because I thought of a more fun punishment. So yeah, you go and do that, and it's like as you're hitting the last hinge, like pretty much like it slips a little bit, and it's like the blade is like dulled and chipped and everything, but then there's like this huge scratch, and it's just like pretty much like you see like kind of inscribed like on the handle is like a gift from your Rose, and this is like an early like present that Rose gave you, and that you've been holding on for all these years, and now like it's the first time that it's been damaged in such a way.
That's horrible.
But the door's open.
I mean, so like I said, this would have been a special tool that he would have had.
You didn't
you
know
don't carry a pocket knife
special.
like that. But again, it's like, and even with that actually makes it an even more. That actually makes it a more special commitment, because it's being committed to the cause to protect his family. That's part of why he's committing it, is it's protecting family.
Yeah, and we'll see what Rose thinks about that later. Another divorce. Anyway. So yeah, the door opens, and it's just like as like the blade like is it's definitely gonna need some work, but the door's open. You don't know if you're noticed yet or not.
We set the door off to the side and look to see what we can see.
Yep.
Yeah, a dark room, but you hear just like pretty much you can hear muffled through there. It's like, shoot, I forgot what Chilburn said.
The hard way. We can.
Oh yeah, and it's like,
doing it the hard way.
You just hear him muffled, just like, well, I guess we'll have to do this the hard way, and we'll find out what the hard way is next episode.
Dun, 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 dun.
Always the hard way.
Always. Cora can't do anything the easy way, let's be honest.
Yeah, the power of brass balls. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Yeah, we'll be back next week with maybe a more action-based song. We'll see. Anyway, until next time, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.